Yo, what's up, y'all? It's your boy P-Lot, aka the Brick Slinger, and guess what? Your boy got something to say. For some of you that don't know, there's a clip of Fresh and Fit where Tommy Sotomayor is the guest. And within this clip, there's a young lady who decided to ask Tommy, why do he always talk quote unquote bad about black women? And throughout the whole clip, he had answered as much as he could, even when she continued to ask this question many times, and also make a big deal out of it due to the fact that one, she unfollowed him on Instagram, and she can't accept the fact that he talks about other women. She is only acknowledging the fact that he talks about black women in quote unquote disrespectful way. And I'm saying quote unquote because these are particularly the young lady's words. And in the midst of continuing to make the statement and ask the question, it got heated to the point where both individuals couldn't remain calm. Their rages got to the point where fist was thrown, to the point where she hit him and almost him hitting her back. But here's my thing. I've seen the whole show. It's basically a 2 to 3 hour show. And throughout the whole show, practically, she has been the main instigator and the disrespectful one throughout the whole show. It just so happened that clip of her and Tommy debating was at the end, the very end. The very end of the show. Throughout the whole show, she was disrespectful prior to her and him. Now, hear me out. There's two particular scriptures in Proverbs that go along with this situation. The first one, and I'm basically paraphrasing, speaks on how a fool is wise in their own eyes. A fool is wise in his own eyes. But the second one basically tells us that if you correct a fool, if you try to discipline a fool, if you try to basically challenge and correct the fool, you will end up being the fool too. Like I'm saying, I'm paraphrasing the scripture. If you know what I'm talking about, cool. Put it on the comment board and let it be known. Anywho, why this two particular verses fits within this concept? I'm glad you asked. Within this content, I'm glad you asked. Because throughout this video, throughout this 3-hour show, she basically displayed how she is foolish and thinks she is wise within her own eyes, that she did not like to be like the facts being displayed or her opinion being challenged. It's kind of ridiculous when someone, especially a woman, a young woman, try to prove a point and get upset when her point is not as sharp as she would love it to be. And even when she was debating with Tommy Sotomayor, she didn't accept his answer. Even when she tried to remix the question, he basically responded and answered. So, and even Myron, who is the host of the show, was basically continuing to tell her, like, yo, nobody is safe nobody is above criticism. Yes, Tommy Sotomayor speaks about black women in the most negative way. Is it disrespectful? It is up for debate. the thing of it is, when he talks about black women, it's not about, oh, you're a queen type of stuff. It's more of you dealing with a situation, you're the problem in this, that, and the third, and you need to fix it type of situation. But no, and I won't say nobody really listened to Tommy, because he's been around pre-Kevin Samuels. And the situation is that no matter how many times Tommy Sotomayor comes with a solution to the problem, they stuck on the fact of who is his main target. Even if there's people saying, hey, Tommy, you saved me, you kind of, you done this for me, you done that for me, and your show has saved me from this, that, and the third. It no matter what the testimony is. If they see something, they keep seeing negative stuff, they're going to continue to assume that you're as negative as it gets. Now, this ain't me defending Tommy Sotomayor, because the second verse put him in that predicament. Because as much as he tried to challenge her and correct her for asking him the same question and making the same statement, he ended up being the fool in this conversation because of the simple fact that she was too busy antagonizing the whole situation, being loud and showing how disrespectful she is. And then bring up some other details. It's talking about how he tried to quote unquote have sex with her and stuff like that, and get on other platforms after the altercation trying to say the exact same thing and trying to pretend like she don't know why and this, that, and the third, but clearly she knows why. But the problem is he ended up being the fool because he let his emotion get the best of him. He did get loud with her. He tried to be a mirror reflection of her, but the problem is when you're dealing with a fool, there's nothing you can do to match that. There's nothing you can do to top that. Once you're at a level of a fool, you're not in a high place. Trust me. I know. I've been in that position before where a foolish person had tried me and the foolish person got the best of me. But at the end of the day, the worst thing a person can do, according to scripture, is to try to correct the fool, because a foolish person don't believe that they're wrong. A foolish person don't believe that they ever can do any wrong. A foolish person can literally believe that out of all the things they can done, they're the victim. They don't understand why somebody will respond to them in a violent way when they just got done disrespecting the person that responded to them in a violent way, because they basically challenged that person in a violent way, in a disrespectful way. Like, being cool, calm, and collected is always going to be the solution to dealing with a foolish person. Because like the scripture says, if you try to correct the fool, if you try to challenge a fool, you try to discipline the fool, you end up being the fool. Literally, you end up being the fool. And even though she's on other platforms telling her side of the story, people like myself knows the truth. And it's kind of hard to believe when I see it for myself. What's the problem? So what is the meaning of the story? Simple as plain. It's best to avoid situations. The book of Titus, there's a verse in that book which clearly say, avoid foolish arguments, avoid controversy, because it's not beneficial. It's useless. And I know it's going to be hard to do such a thing. Trust me, I know. I've been in that position before. But the beautiful thing about avoiding situations, avoiding controversy and foolish argument is that you don't have to waste time. Because the minute you take heed to an argument that is not beneficial, you end up being the fool, as it like what Proverbs says. But that's just me. If you like what you heard, there's a like button. Don't like what you heard, there's a dislike button. Go to the comment board. Speak your piece. If you disagree, cool, but don't be disrespectful. And who knows, we might end up doing this live. Subscribe, people. And share this. Share this video and continue the conversation. Until then, this is your boy P-Lot, aka the Brick Slinger. And as always, continue to sharpen one another. Support the kingdom. Take care and God bless. Laborers.